Welcome to a sub-series of Down to Mars. This is a new series with the unofficial working title of Confessions of a Drama Queen. No. Confessions of a Gemini, dweeb. Have you ever wondered, what is it like to host the brain of a Gemini woman, a Gemini Black woman? Have you ever wondered what it was like to be the host of that brain, to hold that brain and occupy that brain in your head? Well, I can tell you, it fucking sucks. There's like that new trend where it's like,
when my therapist told me that the reason I talked so much was because I had insecurity about properly communicating as a means to validate my emotions, as a means of not having them validated as a child, and not because I'm a Gemini.
it's really hard to know whether you just have a effed up astrological placement or if you're mentally ill. And I'm teeter-tottering between genius and mental illness. Like, I can't tell if I'm enlightened. Am I enlightened or am I mentally ill? Am I mentally ill? Because I can't even hold on to a thought long enough to execute that said thought. I have had so many ideas manifest within my brain, and in the midst of me trying to execute that vision, I get further and further away from what the original vision was. So now I'm trying to chase that specific vision, and in me doing so, it's evolved into something else that I haven't even started. So let's pick up a new project. I think that's why I'm also so enamored with the concept of time, right? Okay, now we're on the weird shit. Now we're on the crackhead energy stuff, blah, 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 blah. No, but for real, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. The concept of time is buck wild insane, and it is literally the most lethal art medium to exist. The way nothing is constant. Everything evolves. Everything changes. Everything gradually matriculates into something else. You know what I'm saying? Everything is changing. Nothing is forever. So what someone can perceive something as in one moment can be perceived as a completely different reality in 1 year. And that's just the beauty of time. There's so much content that we look back on now, having had experienced the pandemic, and we have a completely different worldview concerning what was going on now and then. You catch my drift? Like, time really allows for things to go into perspective. And I even think about figureheads. I always think about how will they be experienced through the lens of media time from now? Like, for instance, Marilyn Monroe, follow me. Marilyn Monroe, a Gemini queen, was not really adored during her life. She had a very difficult and trying career. She wasn't really respected or praised by her colleagues, her peers, and she was kind of, for a point in time, known as a sort of a laughingstock, right? But all these decades later, there are people who feel a connection and a somewhat kindred spirit with Marilyn because of, her being rejected from society at the time, because as society continues to evolve, what is and isn't socially acceptable evolves with it. So that's just the art of progression. That's just the art of time. So now there's this community that adores her. So I think about people like, for instance, like the Kardashians. In 50 years from now or 60 years from now, how will they be looked at? Like, will there be just upward relativity and social interest in them, or will they evolve into this other sort of symbol, a symbol more so associated with a time? Because people, all these trends and all these people and all these influencers, it does change. Like, there will be another influencer in due time who kind of goes to replace what are now sort of peak influencers represent, i.e. the Kardashians. There will be someone else who in due time replaces that. And when that happens, how will we look back on the Kardashians? I think about these things as well with drag, like the way drag is socially perceived right now. How will drag evolve from this point in time? And it's just such an interesting concept to me. The only thing that is truly infinite is media, right? Could this thing ever truly be destroyed? Will the ethos, or I don't know if that's the proper term, will this meta space transcend time? Does this digital thing ever truly die? Or will it always in some way, shape, or form exist? Is it truly possible to remove an entire digital history? Or is this like the Egyptian hieroglyphics of our generation, where it's etched into our permanent history? You know what I mean? I wonder. Anyways, I think that's kind of my 2 cents and rantings for now. For the time being, I'm out. See you somewhere in the cosmos. There's definitely a neutrality that I would like to be within kind of my space of creation. I'm always very inspired by artists who are able to separate the art from the artist. I do think an artist should be able to exist in their space, and I do think art should be able to exist in its space. And associating myself, the artist, as the art is like a risky thing to do. Like, it's a risky thing to do. But existing in this sort of meta character that's like outside of me, so to speak, but is a polished representation and identification for who I am, is important, because I think that gives both the art and the artist a space to exist peacefully and enjoy the full extent of themselves. And this is why I, as a child, was obsessed with the content and the literature within Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana is so good.